Hey guys, welcome to Jen's Creativity Corner. Sorry about the lighting and I'm sure the audio and everything and my appearance. And I just realized that we're just over halfway through Nanowrimo and I wanted to give an update. And I'm just in the middle of writing right now. So figured I'd pop on, shoot a little video and say hello. I hope your Nanowrimo is going well. This is my first year. If you want to know a little bit more where I'm at with kind of the idea behind this book and also other books that I've been working on, I have another video on that. This one, okay, so this is, like I said, this is my first time doing Nanowrimo, and of course I'm not editing, so sorry if this is all choppy and repetitive and stuff. I've been struggling so much, and I genuinely think a lot of it is the winter blues. Like, it just hit me like a freight train, and I noticed other people commenting on social media that they were struggling too. You know, not even other writers, just people in general. So I was like, okay, just gotta remember why is this in the month that like the seasons change? And I love fall, but there's also been a good amount of early snow and I don't know. Anyway, so I've been struggling to write and edit at all on any of my books, but especially I've been really super passionate about my YA fantasy trilogy. So I've been spending the vast majority of my time on that, which is not a Nanowrimo project, which, I mean, Nanowrimo, I think is supposed to, you know, it's supposed to get you like ideas pumping and get you to like force yourself to write, but I don't have to force myself to write. I'm pretty much doing that all the time right now while I don't have work. So, you know, if it was about word count, I would easily meet 50K because I've been bulking up my other stories. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about it, guys. Book one is getting really close, I feel, to querying literary agent. Just had, I think, 3 more beta readers, finished it up, and made some edits that I think, I feel pretty confident that they're going in the right direction. Sometimes it's hard. You know, you'll have 2 beta readers that say that they think a line is cheesy, and then the other 2 are like rolling on the floor laughing because they love it. And you're just like, what are you going to do? You know, and some people pick up on things that you want and others don't pick up on them. And then you worry like, oh, was I too subtle? But then you don't want to overly explain it. You know, I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, I've been spending tons of time working on that. Not so much this project, but I got back in the zone yesterday. So let me look, I've got the website up here. My Nanowrimo count as of yesterday was 17,455 words, which, you know, for some people that's really respectable. Honestly, I could pump that out easily in a week when I'm motivated. As of right now, what I've written today, I'm up to 18,889. So, you know, like 1,500 words or so, which, I mean, that's fine. It's not even 2 p.m. and I am a night owl, so I will be writing. I know one thing along with distraction of other books and kind of mood, depression struggles, I'm finding this book hard. So if you didn't watch my other video or if you've forgotten, the premise is kind of, I keep going back to The Giver as a comparable or comparable words. See, I'm not editing. As a similar book in the way that there's like, you know, created families. I hate to say the word dystopian because I feel like dystopian YA is kind of dead, but it is YA dystopian, though it is not like the whole world has changed. It's more like a giant cult. But you know what? Last night I spent the time to reread through the like 8 chapters that I had written, and I really loved it. I did some editing. I added to my word count a whole 150 words yesterday, but I really enjoyed it and I liked where it was going. And I think I just get really stressed because this is a rigid society. And whenever you throw things into a story that are finite, that are controlled, it makes it harder. You know, when I'm writing about, gosh, like, especially the 3rd book in my fantasy trilogy, there's not really a lot of time constraints. Like, the preparation for a battle can take a couple days, it can take a couple of years. Like, it just stretches out as long as I want it to stretch out. But I'm looking at not only high school, but very specific high school. It's very rigid. Like one example from this book, they don't just have classes that are semesters or trimesters. You change classes every month. So I literally have to think, okay, this is the first week in that month, and then the second week, and like I made it so hard for myself. But that, I mean, that's the point, is this is a very rigid community. Also, when you add things like pregnancy, I've had to map out like, okay, when would they know? When would they have these symptoms? When would they be able to tell people? When would you find out if it was like twins or if there were birth defects? When would they give birth? And, you know, because there's a lot of beats along with someone's pregnancy in this. It just plays into like the emotions of one of the characters. And so it's just so rigid. And I would say that I don't know, most people are not just plotters or pantsers. But I would definitely say I'm more in the middle, leaning towards pantser. Like, I know generally where I want things to go. Sometimes when I've started writing a book, I don't know the end. But having to write out, like, I don't want to give away too many details, so I'm not going to show you up close, but this, that's the calendar that I've had to write out, and it's color-coded into, like, 5 different colors. Describing each month, and even sometimes in the different parts of the month, like, this color is when these 2 people meet, this is the goal of these people, this is when we meet these people, this is when we can announce this because it's like timed out. Like, it's a lot of planning, and I think it sucks out the fun for me. So I don't know what kind of writer you are. I'd love to know if you are a person that's more organized like that. Oh, how? You know, I can do like kind of a slow burn, build up, romance, getting to know each other, earning trust, that kind of stuff. But when it's so rigid, it's hard. I think there's a lot of anxiety in me that I'm just going to write a bunch of crap because I'm going to put the wrong emotional turn at the wrong time with emotionally rigid people in a structured society. I may never write a book like this again. But I personally, knowing myself, I hate giving up. I hate not having that check mark. So when it comes down to it, yes, NaNoWriMo is half over. I am not halfway there. I will be finishing it, even if I hate it. I don't know. Part of me, like, I don't know. Since I read it last night, I really love this story and I'm excited about it, but I'm still writing kind of slowly. I just wrote a scene and I'm like, okay, I really like that. But now that I'm going to go move on to the next scene, I'm like, oh, but am I going to select the right one? Why is this so hard? Anyway, guys, I'm just ranting, but I've been struggling. You know, for those of you that have done multiple NaNoWrimos, I'd love to hear your input. Do you find it hard? And it might just be the goal altogether, not just this book and this society, but just having to meet that 50K. I'm sure that's part of the restriction too, is no one's been telling me like, oh, you need to finish this by this date, which, not that guidelines are bad, but I don't know. I've loved poetry for years. In high school, I wrote a decent amount. In college, I took poetry courses, and like there's half a dozen poems that I want to write based on like a trip to Costa Rica and these beautiful pictures that I named the poem in my head and I knew what it was going to be about. But when I've sat down to write it, I couldn't do it because I have to have that spark, the interest, that motivation. I have to go where my passion's lying at the moment, which is why I have multiple books going at once. Because if I don't feel passionate about one, then you know what? I'm just going to hop on and edit the other or continue writing it, which is funny because I woke up this morning really wanting to go back to a project that I started months ago. And I literally wrote like 2 chapters of it. And I'm creating this whole magic system, and it's, again, kind of complicated. Maybe that's why I stopped working on that, because I was sorting through it all in my head. But now I'm like, oh, no, I want to get back to that, but I have to work on this. The struggle of creatives. That's what this is really about. Anyway, I'm just ranting about my own little story here. I don't know, should I tell you a little bit more about my story? The title, I'm a little frustrated because I realized logistically again that I needed to change it, and I don't know, we'll see. So here's my first lines. I read it in the last one. It says, I would never know my birth parents. No one could, no one should. I guess maybe, should I read you? I'll read you the next 3 sentences. At least that's what we were taught, and I'd always understood that. It's for our own good. Anyway, I don't want to give too much away. Oh, it's kind of fun to have a teaser. Is it fun to have a teaser? I don't know. Whether or not I go self-publishing, I don't really know how to market things. I understand it's fun to give like little teaser bits. I think I'll do little videos when I'm actually releasing a book, like movie trailer kind of thing. I think it'd be fun. I've seen other authors do that. But if you'd like to know more about my YA fantasy trilogy, I really haven't talked about that much, like anywhere, other than maybe a little in writers groups and just with, you know, I don't know, several beta readers. So I feel confident after sifting through feedback. Anyway, this is getting long. I'm sorry. I'm just yapping. Maybe I'm lonely. This is where I do most of my writing. I'm just sitting on my couch in my PJs with my slippers on and my dog to my left. And I hope life is good for you. If you are also struggling with seasonal blues or other struggles, know you are not alone. And that things change. They'll get better. So, hope you have a wonderful day. I'm gonna enjoy here my caffeine. Get back to writing. Probably take a nap at some point. You guys have a wonderful day. A wonderful November. Gee golly, I think I have a video coming up tomorrow. It's one of my craft videos, so stay tuned for that. Subscribe and comment down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. If you're watching this video, it's for a reason, and I'd love to know what that is. So have a great day, guys. Bye.